Yo, it's your boy Bernard, and welcome to another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast, where I'll be discussing everything nerdy that has caught my eye this week. I did shave my sideburns, some shit's went wrong, but let's start on a somber note. Unfortunately, we do have to give a rest in peace to Val Kilmer. So for those of you who are, under the age of 30 plus, you might not know who Val Kilmer is. But Val Kilmer was an actor who starred in a lot of movies. His first movie was actually a comedy that was called Top Secret that came out in 84. And then he did Real Genius in 85. But a lot of people may know him from playing Iceman in Top Gun. He played Jim Morrison in the Doors biopic. Doc Holliday in Tombstone. A lot of us around my age probably first saw him as Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, in Batman Forever. He was also on Willow, Thunderheart, True Romance, Heat, The Island of Dr. Moreau, The Ghost in the Darkness. That is a very weird movie, but also based on a true story. The Saint. He was Moses in The Prince of Egypt. He was in Spartan, Alexander. I always forget he was in Alexander. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, a very good movie, directed and written by Shane Black, but Robert Downey Jr. in it. Deja Vu. He was in Deja Vu with Denzel Washington. MacGruber, Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, he passed away on April 1st. A lot of people thought it was an April Fool's joke, but unfortunately it was not, at the age of 65 years old. His daughter said that the cause of death was pneumonia. And all the tributes of people he worked with started coming out. Michael Mann, who directed Heat, said, I was always marveled, while working with Val on Heat, I always marveled at the range, the brilliant variability within the powerful current of Val's possessing and expressing character. After so many years of Val battling disease and maintaining his spirit, this was tremendously sad news. Tom Cruise actually showed up at Cinemacon and asked for a moment of silence for everybody. A lot of people paid tribute to him. Robert De Niro, Martin Cove, Ron Howard, Nicolas Cage, Cher, Michael Douglas, Jim Carrey, Ben Stiller, Josh Brolin, Jennifer Connelly, Michelle Monaghan, James Woods, Matthew Modine, and David Thewlis, I believe. But yeah, we've got to give a rest in peace to Val Kilmer. I believe he was also in Mindhunters. Yes, he was. But yeah, that's just sad, man. He actually did do a documentary about himself. It's called Val. It's actually on Prime. It basically follows his career, and a majority of it is footage he would shoot personally, whenever he was on movie sets and everything like that. It also showed him, dealing with the throat cancer diagnosis and battling it. I highly recommend you check that out. It's on Prime. It's probably one of the most trending things since his passing. I haven't been on Prime in a week since Reacher ended. But yeah, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Alright, so I am going to talk about Cinemacon. So for those of you who don't know, Cinemacon is basically the big convention for all things film. So I think I'm going to start with Disney first. So Disney made several updates. Well, they showed they had updates and they showed a lot of footage. So they showed some footage from Thunderbolts, Lilo and Stitch, Elio, Fantastic Four First Steps, Freakier Friday, Predator Badlands, Tron Ares, which by the time this episode drops, The first trailer will be out. Zootopia 2. Deliver Me From Nowhere, which is a Bruce Springsteen biopic. Avatar Fire and Ash. And that was it for Disney. Paramount. They talked about a few movies that were going to be coming out soon. So one is called Children of Blood and Bone, Heart of the Beast, the Trey Parker, Matt Stone, and Kendrick Lamar musical, which was supposed to come out this year, which has been pushed back to next year. Sonic 4, Scream 7, the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie actually has a new title. It's called The Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender, and they talked a little bit about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem 2, which is just, a working title for now. But the footage they showed was something from Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, Smurfs 2, which we all know Rihanna is providing the voice of Smurfette. If you saw that, SpongeBob, The Search for SquarePants, something called Roof Man with Channing Tatum. We're getting a remake of The Running Man. I think I brought this up maybe a year and a half ago. Edgar Wright is directing it, and it is starring Glenn Powell, Lee Pace, Katie O'Brien, Josh Brolin, Coleman Domingo, William H. Macy, and Michael Cera. And also the one I was just like, oh God, why? We're getting a Naked Gun Legacy sequel. So the trailer for that dropped. I honestly didn't watch it. I sent it to Loco because I know he's a big Leslie Nielsen fan. And although Leslie Nielsen is passed, he did tell me The Naked Gun was one of his favorite movies. I'll probably watch the trailer after I'm done recording, but I probably won't watch the movie. Black people don't really rock with Liam Neeson anymore. I would say that would be the title of the episode, but too long. Maybe just fuck Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson can go to hell. Liam Neeson sucks. I don't know. Any of those could possibly work. All right. Amazon MGM. So they actually showed footage of the Masters of the Universe live action movie that I told you guys about a few months ago. That stars Nicholas Galtzine, Camila Mendes, Jared Leto, Alison Brie, Idris Elba, Miranda Baccarin, and Johannes Hakur Johansson. And the description basically shows that they are all wearing 80s accurate costumes. All right. Project Hail Mary. This is one that caught my eye. This is directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who I believe they wrote 21 Jump Street. They also did the Spider-Verse movies. What else did they do? They directed 21 and 22 Jump Street. They wrote and directed the Lego movie. That's what it was. And no, Phil Lord only wrote Into the Spider-Verse. They both wrote Across and are writing Beyond, which I will be getting into later. So yeah, Project Hail Mary has Ryan Gosling in it. Chris Miller is actually acting in this. Rachel O'Connor, that name sounds familiar. Oh, that's producers. I'm tripping. It stars Ryan Gosling, Sandra Hüller, Melania Vaintrub, and James Ortiz. Is Melania Vaintrub Lily from the AT&T commercials? I believe. Yes, she is. All right. That'll be out March 20th. Verity is a movie that stars Anne Hathaway, Josh Hartnett, and Dakota Johnson. Directed by Michael Showalter. Never heard of him. After the Hunt Directed by Luca Guadagnino, who recently directed Queer, who might be doing the Sergeant Rock movie still. Stars Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield, Ayo Edeberry, Chloe Savini, and Michael Stuhlbarg. Mercy. Oh God. Directed by Timur Bakmanadabab. That's a name I haven't seen in forever. I think the last thing I saw he did was, I want to say, Wanted. It stars Chris Pratt, Rebecca Ferguson, Annabelle Wallace, and Kaylee Reese. That'll be out January 23rd. Crime 101, sometime this year, will be released. Directed by Bart Layton. Stars Chris Hemsworth, Monica Barbaro, Barry Keoghan, Mark Ruffalo, Halle Berry, and Jennifer Jason Leigh. Three Bags Full, a sheep detective movie, directed by Kyle Balda. Stars Hugh Jackman, Emma Thompson, Nicholas Braun, Nicholas Gautzine, Molly Gordon, Hong Chu, Tawson Cole, and Kobna Holbrook Smith. So this is a animated movie that'll be out February 20th. All right, Universal. How to Train Your Dragon 2 live action has a release date of June 11th, 2027. They showed some footage for Wicked for Good, which will be out in November of this year. Jurassic World Rebirth, which will be out in July of this year. Him, which is a Jordan Peele movie that, we've slowly been seeing posters for. Directed by Justin Tipping. Oh, it's produced by Jordan Peele. So it's written by Zach Ackers and Skip Bronke. Stars Marlon Wayans, Julia Fox, Tim Heidecker, Tariq Williams, Indira G. Wilson, Jim Jeffries, Guapdad 4000, and Tierra Whack. Who the fuck is Guapdad? Ain't he a rapper? Hopefully he can act. He look like a bootleg Gucci man. Another trailer that dropped. Megan 2.0. So Allison Williams is coming back, Violet McGraw, Amy McDonald, Brian Jordan Alvarez, and Jermaine Clement. So check that out. The Bad Guys. Megan will be out June 27th, and I think I said when him will be out, but him will be out September 19th. The Bad Guys 2 for all the family people with chillins. August 1st. Sam Rockwell, Mark Marion, Craig Robinson, Anthony Ramos, Aquafina, Zazie Beach, Richard Odaye, Lily Singh, and Alex Bornston. Now, this one I can't wait for. August 15th, Nobody 2. Bob Odenkirk is back as Hutch. Connie Nielsen's in this, Sharon Stone, Christopher Lloyd's back, and Colin Hanks. And this is directed by Timo Tarajanto. Alright, so basically, this one deals with Hutch being at a work convention. And shit goes left. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Josh Hutcherson is returning, so is Matthew Lillard. Also Elizabeth Lael and then Piper Rubio. December 5th for that one, directed by Emma Tammy. Black Phone 2. Scott Derrickson is returning. Ethan Hawke is back. Mason Thames, Jeremy Davies, Madeline McCraw, and Ariana Rivas. October 17th. Soulmate, which is the kind of sort of spinoff of Megan. Directed by Kate Dolan. Claudia Dumit, who we all know as playing Victoria Newman on The Boys. David Rysdale, Lily Sullivan, Oliver Cooper, and Steve Cusack. So that's January 2nd for that one. The Phoenician Scheme is a Wes Anderson movie that stars Benicio del Toro, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Bill Murray, Bryan Cranston, Benedict Cumberbatch, Richard Ayoade, Jeffrey Wright, and Riz Ahmed. Now will be out May 30th of this year. Richard Ayoade working. Virginia. Yorgos Lanthimos. He is the guy who directed that movie where Emma Stone was a Frankenstein prostitute. Poor Things. Stars Jesse Plemons. Emma Stone is in this as well. Alicia Silverstone and Stavros Hakilias. Is that fat Greek comedian? Because ain't that many people named Stavros. Yep, it is. All right, let me see if we got any more Cinemacon news. So that was Disney, Paramount, MGM, Universal. Oh, I forgot about Warner Brothers. So they actually showed a sneak peek of Superman, which they actually put online, and it looks good. It's just basically an extended version of what we got in the teaser trailer with Clark calling Crypto. So we got to see Crypto play with Clark a little bit, and he's like, yo, get me home. And I like how the fortress isn't just stationary. It looks like it submerges into the ground and comes up whenever it's needed. And like how the Kryptonian robots basically healed Superman while they gave him like a concentrated dose of solar energy. And I saw people complaining about that. It's like, yo, it's Kryptonian physiology. Shut up. All right. And Superman will be out this July. F1, directed by Joseph Kosinski. Stars Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, Carrie Condon, Tobias Menzies, Kim Bodina, and Javier Bardem. That's that race car movie that comes out the day before my birthday next year, February 27th. One battle after another. Directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Tiana Taylor, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, Sean Penn, and Alana Haim. I might see this just because Alana Haim's in it and Regina Hall as well. Tiana Taylor's kind of alright. That will be out September 26th of this year. Not really a fan of Paul Thomas Anderson's movies. Too arty. Final Destination Bloodlines. This is the one I'm definitely looking forward to. May 16th, directed by Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein. Stars Caitlin Santa-Yuna, Tio Baronis, Richard Harmon, Owen Patrick Joyner, Raya Klinstad, Anna Bohr, Breck Bessinger, and Tony Todd. Something called Weapons, which is written and directed by Zach Kreger, who I told you guys recently will be rebooting the Resident Evil franchise. This comes out August 8th of this year. Stars Josh Brolin, Julia Garner, Alden Ehrenreich, Benedict Wong, Austin Abrams, Amy Madigan, and June Diane Raphael. Okay, so we are getting another version of The Cat in the Hat. Written and directed by Alessandro Caroni and Eric Rivignonja. Stars Bill Hader, Matt Berry, Quinta Brunson, Bowen Yang, Xochitl Gomez, and Paula Pell. So I guess this is going to be a animated rehash like The Grinch was a couple years ago. The Bride. So this is based off of the Frankenstein book by Mary Shelley and James Wells' Bride of Frankenstein. Written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. And this will be out March 6th of 2026. Stars Jesse Buckley, Christian Bale, Penelope Cruz, Peter Sarsgaard, Julianne Hough, John Magaro, Annette Bening, and Jake Gyllenhaal. All right. Do we have another studio? Oh, Lionsgate. So, guys, we are getting Luca Guadagnino's new adaptation of American Psycho. Now You See Me 4 is officially titled Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Hurry Up Tomorrow, which is a movie that stars The Weeknd, Jenna Ortega, and Barry Keoghan. The Strangers Hurry Up Tomorrow will be out May 16th of this year. The Strangers Chapter 2, September 26th of this year. Directed by Rennie Harlan. Stars Madeline Petsch, who you may know as Cheryl Blossom if you watched Riverdale. Gabriel Basso, who was on, what was it, The Night Agent or The Recruit? It's one of the Netflix shows. Those two are kind of sort of similar. Night Agent. And Emma Horvath. They showed some footage of Ballerina, which we know is coming out this June. Directed by Len Wiseman. Stars Anna de Armas, Norma Reedus, Ian McShane, Lance Reddick, R.I.P., Keanu Reeves, Gabriel Bryan, Angelica Houston, Sharon Duncan Brewster, and David Castaneda. John Wick Chapter 5. So that was announced. We're also getting an animated John Wick movie, and we are getting a Kane movie. Starring Donnie Yen and directed by Donnie Yen. Now, as far as Now You See Me, Now You Don't, that will be out November of this year, directed by Ruben Fleischer. Jesse Eisenberg is back, so is Woody Harrelson, Mark Ruffalo, Dave Franco, Isla Fisher, Morgan Freeman, and we got newcomers Ariana Greenblatt, Dominic Sessa, Justice Smith, and Rosamund Pike. So, I wonder why Lizzie Kaplan didn't come back. Or they were like, hey, we got Isla back, so you're good. Michael, which is the Michael Jackson biopic, which is rumored to be getting split into 2 parts now. Directed by Anton Fuqua. Stars Jafar Jackson, Coleman Domingo, Nia Long, Miles Teller, Laura Harrier, Jamal Henderson, Trey Horton, Ryan Hill, Joseph David Jones, Kat Graham, Lorenz Tate, Derek Luke, Jessica Sula, Liv Simone, Kevin Schnick, Kyle Durrell, Kendrick Sampson, and Derek Luke. They announced the Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping. That will be out November 20th of 2026. Did I say Michael's release date? If I didn't, it's October 3rd of this year. The Long Walk by Francis Lawrence, which is based off of a Stephen King book, will be out September 12th of this year. It stars Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson, Garrett Waring, Tut Nyut, Charlie Plummer, Ben Wang, Roman Griffin Davis, Jordan Gonzalez, Josh Hamilton, Judy Gear. Is it Judy Gear or Judy Greer? And Mark Hamill. Is Judy Gear an actual person? Let me look her up real quick. I'm pretty sure they meant Judy Greer because Wikipedia even tried to correct me. And I believe that's all the studios. Yeah, I believe that's all the studios. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to take a break because I've been talking for 20-something minutes. So I'll be back with the rest of the news. This episode is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby gives you focus and energy without the crash and jitters. It has no sugar, fillers, or artificial dyes. Mix 1 packet or scoop into 8 or 12 ounces of water. Stir or shake well. Some powderiness is normal, and it has all the important vitamins. So this has vitamin C, B3, B6, and B12. And it's made from coffee fruit extract. So drink it and go conquer a task. And go to Dubby.gg and use my promo code Angry Blerd 10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. That's Dubby.gg with promo code Angry Blerd 10. All right, I'm back. It's a little parched. Had to drink a whole bottle of water. I paused it for like 30 seconds. All right, so let's go ahead and get into video games, shall we? So, short story. Marvel Rivals Season 2 will be starting soon. And we got 2 more characters, as well as a new map. This will be coming out April 25th. I mean, not April 25th, April 11th. So, character drops we will be getting will be Emma Frost and Ultron. And the next map will be the living island of Krakoa, which was originally in 1975 giant-sized X-Men, where Colossus, Storm, and Wolverine officially joined the team. Krakoa is a sentient island. Don't know if that's going to help with the game, but we'll find out. And people believe that they might have sneak teased Professor Xavier in the trailer for the season 2 Hellfire Gala premiere, but I don't know. Anyway, since we are talking about video games, let's talk about Nintendo. And they finally did the Nintendo Direct for the Nintendo Switch 2. So first things first, I'm not getting it. And why am I not getting it? Because I don't care at this point, really. So for starters, let's talk about the price. The Nintendo Switch by itself with no games is $449. I think I said 400 would be sufficient because the Switch OLED is $350. But let's talk about it. So the pre-orders begin on April 9th in North America. You can get it directly from the My Nintendo store on May 8th as a first come first serve basis to people who have purchased Nintendo Switch Online with a minimum of 12 months a paid membership and 50 hours of gameplay on your Switch as of April 2nd, sorry. So Switch 2 has 4K support, HDR, the Joy-Cons have mouse controls, 256 gigabytes of storage. The cartridges for some reason are now red. So I was like, okay, cool. I guess that's a way to discern it, but although, you know, it'll just say Nintendo Switch 2 on the cartridge, just like, whatever. So this is a reason why I'm not getting it. Nintendo just basically fucked the game up for video games in general. So, not only does this system only have native 1080, as in, if you're holding it, it's 1080, it only does 4K on a TV. They are charging $80 for games now.
What? Well, I'm
for
out,
digital,
man.
And $90 for physical.
Huh?
I'm like, excuse me? What? So now, guess what? Everybody else is going to follow suit because usually whatever Nintendo does, everyone else does. So if PS5 games somehow jump up to $80 when they've been $70 since, you know, the PS5 came out 5 years ago, I'm going to lose it. It could be like this Nintendo getting ready for the next generation, although I said, in my honest opinion, that they are basically a generation behind, and they're always a generation behind. So like when the Xbox 360 and the PS3 came out, those were the first systems with HD, and the Wii came out, and the Wii was still rocking 480. Like the PS3 also, I think even the 360 had 480 capability, but they also had HDMI ports. The Wii did not. The Wii U finally caught up and was 1080. But then, you know, 2014 came and we got the Xbox One and the PS4. And those were 1080 systems. And then, you know, 3 years later, 2017, the Switch comes around. The Switch 1 only did 1080 if it was hooked up to the TV, and only did 720 in handheld mode. And by then, we had already got Xbox One S or whatever, the ones that had 4K, and the PS4 Pro. And now we have, you know, the PS4 Pro, but no updated Xbox. And now the Switch is the price of a, I want to say, a slim PS5. Let me check. Y'all ain't got no 4K? It's like, are you serious right now? All right, let's go to PS5 consoles, digital editions. Yes, this is the price of a digital PS5. So yeah, y'all can kiss my ass. Okay, and you ain't even got a terabyte of storage. And I get it. Some people are like, oh, well, you know, it's a handheld system. That's not the point. The point is, it's just like, you just fucked up the game. And now you're adding all these other accessories. So like, you're adding a camera for like the live chat. which is just dumb. Why didn't you just put a camera on the Switch? What else did they do? They basically got this thing is called, like, what is it called? Nintendo something. Well, I can't remember what it's called, but basically it's kind of like what Astrobot was for the PS4. And guess what? It ain't free like Astrobot was on the PS4. The battery life is half the life of the Switch 1 Lite and the OLED. You can no longer use SD cards. You have to use SD Express cards, which are a little bit better. They have faster write speeds, but they're also more expensive. Like my Nikon camera is a mirrorless camera, and most mirrorless cameras, they still take regular SD cards, but for like since they shoot photos in 4K, it's best to use a CF card. Is it called a CF card? I can't remember. But it's basically like a thicker memory card, and I don't have any next to me. So yeah. But also the bad news about, well, more bad news. The orange Cheeto in office, Donald Trump, basically, implemented all these tariffs. And Nintendo is possibly talking about delaying the pre-orders now because the tariffs went into effect on Wednesday, April 9th. Was it April 9th? Not April 9th. I'm sorry. The hell was Wednesday? The 3rd. April 3rd. No, today's Saturday. April 2nd. I'm sorry. I'm recording at midnight. But yeah, so and it is possible that since the tariffs have gone into effect, that means the price of the Switch can go up before the release date.
Hey, yo, what the
So they actually put out a statement on Friday. They said pre-orders for the Nintendo Switch in the US will not start April 9th, 2025 in order to assess the potential impact of tariffs and evolving market conditions. Nintendo will update timing at a later date. The launch date of June 5th, 2025 is unchanged. So you can no longer pre-order on April 9th. So you're screwed. Thanks, Trump. I would play some YG and Nipsey Hussle, FDT, but don't want to get flagged. So yeah, there's that. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys about the games that are coming with this, that were announced. So there is Mario Kart World. There's a Donkey Kong game coming out called Donkey Kong Bonanza. Oh, that's what it's called. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. That's the thing that you have to pay for. There are updated editions of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, called the Switch 2 editions. Pokemon Z8 Legends, Metroid Prime 4, Beyond, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Drag X Drive, Elden Ring, Street Fighter 6 Years 1 and 2, Fighters Edition, Hades 2, Demonic Ex Machina, Titanic, Scion, Split Fiction, EA Sports FC 26, Madden 26, Hogwarts Legacy, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, Hitman World of Assassination, we're getting a new James Bond game, F-Zero GX, Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, WWE 2K25, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate, don't really know how that's gonna look, Star Wars Outlaws, Fortnite, obviously, Kirby Air Riders, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Professor Lawton in the New World of Steam, Tamagotchi Plaza, No Human Fall Flat 2, Reanimal, Shadow Labyrinth, Fast Fusion, so on and so forth. What is my next story? Let's talk about, what is it? Coyote versus Acme. I told you guys Warner Brothers shelved this movie for tax purposes, but guess what? Ketchup Entertainment bought the movie for $50 million. So Ketchup Entertainment is the same company that purchased Looney Tunes Sedated Earth Blew Up, which I don't believe is doing well in the box office right now. Let's check that, because like I said, that movie got leaked a while ago. Wikipedia says it has only made $10.8 million with a $15 million budget. So, ooh, not good. But Lantern casting. Nathan Fillion has joined the cast, so he will be reprising his role as Guy Gardner from Superman. All right, so a little bit more TV news. Dexter Original Sin. I gave you guys a brief synopsis on the first season. I do plan to do better because it has been renewed for a season 2. So Patrick Gibson, Molly Brown, Christina Milian, and Christian Slater will all be returning for season 2 of that show. All right, what is next? So let's talk about Carrie Coon. So Carrie Coon is an actress. She was on a little show called The Leftovers that a lot of people loved on HBO. I haven't watched it yet. I've heard good things. It's on the list. She was also on Fargo on FX. She's on a show right now called The Gilded Age. She was on The Sinner. She's in the 3rd season of The White Lotus. Oh, she was in Gone Girl. But let's talk. Oh yeah, she's the mom in Ghostbusters Afterlife and Frozen Empire. I'm tripping. All right, let's talk about Carrie Coon. So she was also in Avengers Infinity War. She played Proxima Midnight. And she said, Marvel, y'all need to give me more money. After Infinity War became a box office success, basically they wanted her to come back as Proxima Midnight for Avengers Endgame. And her husband, whose name is Tracy Letts, was on the Big Picture podcast on the Ringer Network and said that the money was the reason she was dropped by Marvel. He said, I believe Marvel went to her for the second one and they asked her to be in it. And she said, well, the first one is the most successful movie ever made. Are you going to pay me more money? And they said, no, we're not going to pay you more money. She said, wow, you're not going to pay me any more money. I don't think I'm going to do it. And apparently they said, well, you should feel fortunate to be part of the Marvel Universe. And so that was that. Apparently Variety reached out to Marvel for a comment. And so far, they have not heard back. Honestly, it's fine that she wasn't in it again. She wasn't in game. Because really, she only had I believe 10 minutes of screen time in game. You know what? Let's actually ask ChatGPT how long Carrie Coon was in Avengers Infinity War. How long was Carrie Coon in Avengers Infinity War?
5 minutes later.
All right, it is searching the web. Carrie Coon portrayed. She mentioned that she was on set for 1 day. It did not give me the official how long she was actually in the movie. Although I felt like somewhere, I read that she was in the movie for 3 minutes. Don't know if that's actually true or not, but I don't know. All right, next story. Disney live action remakes. So as we all know, Snow White is tanking at the box office. And so that has shook Disney to its core. And they said, yeah, Rapunzel, keep your hair up in a bun because we ain't doing this live action Tangle remake. I am not a fan of live action Disney remakes. I have been very vocal about that on this podcast for the past 5 years. And guess what? It's not changing at all. I know The Little Mermaid came out and everybody said support Halle. I was like, I like Halle. I listen to her music. I listen to her sister's music, but I'm not going to see this. And that's that. Now, I don't believe I have any more stories left. I'm just double checking to be on the safe side. All right, guys. So I'm recording this Sunday before I actually do the edit. A bit of news that I forgot to add in my delirium of getting stories together. John Boyega was actually doing an interview for the Apple TV documentary #1 on the call sheet, Leading Black Men in Hollywood. And, he talked about people's reactions to characters like Finn being positioned beyond supporting roles. So he said, Star Wars always had the vibe of being in the most whitest elite space. It's a franchise that's so white that a black person existing in it was something. You can always tell when some Star Wars fans try to say, well, we had Lando and Samuel L. Jackson. It's like telling me how many cookie chips are in the cookie dough. It's just like they're scattered in there, bro. They're okay with us playing the best friend, but once we touch their heroes, once we lead, once we trailblaze, it's like, oh my God, it's just a bit too much. They're pandering. Or, you know, they started calling it woke. And I honestly feel like he said nothing wrong. So if you go back, and it might still be on Twitter, I think YouTube pretty much scrubbed all the negative comments. Like, everyone was like, why is there a black stormtrooper? You know, hashtag not my Star Wars, hashtag boycott episode 7. Get him out of here. You know, he ain't a Jedi, he don't deserve to be a Jedi, so on and so forth. And even then, when the second trailer dropped and we see, you know, Finn in the forest with the lightsaber and he ignites it, the internet lost their shit even then. I'm actually going to see if I can find some of the comments and just like splatter them about as this is going on. But yeah, he made a valid point. It's like, you didn't care about Lando because Lando was probably in, you know, episodes 5 and 6 for all of like maybe 15-20 minutes. But we even saw this with antagonists. Like, everyone lost their shit when Moses Ingram played Reva, aka the Night Sister, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, to the point where Obi-Wan Kenobi had to call y'all out on your bullshit. So don't try to say that, you know, we're not racist because, you know, we don't have a problem with black people in Star Wars, when there's clear fucking evidence of it, to the point where Obi-Wan Kenobi has to come out and say, if this is how you are, you don't deserve Star Wars. And honestly,
this weekend, Star Wars fans made Obi-Wan Kenobi the most watched Disney Plus original series premiere of all time. And for that, I would say a big thank you. And it just goes to show what this family can do when we all pull together. However, it seems that some of the fan base, from this influential fan base, have decided to attack Moses Ingram online and send her the most horrendous racist DMs. And I heard some of them this morning and it just broke my heart. Moses is a brilliant actor. She's a brilliant woman. And she's absolutely amazing in this series. She brings so much to the series. She brings so much to the franchise. And it just sickened me to my stomach to hear that this had been happening. I just want to say, as the leading actor in the series, as the executive producer on the series, that we stand with Moses. We love Moses. And if you're sending her bullying messages, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind. There's no place for racism in this world. And I totally stand with Moses.
Star Wars. And honestly, he made a valid point. Same as John Boyega. And John Boyega called out Disney multiple times about their lack of support for their actors of color. Like, perfect example, another one, Kelly Marie Tran, who played Rose Tico in the Last Skywalker and the Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. So it was just like, good grief, just, you know, y'all need to stop it and just quit the bullshit. Because I'm also going to repost the clip of Ewan McGregor saying y'all own some bullshit. But anyway, here is the review for Daredevil Born Again. I'm obviously not going to acknowledge that this was spliced in because, like I said, I'm recording this on Sunday right before I got ready to edit. So peace. Kevin Feige also confirmed that the full cast of Avengers Doomsday has not yet been revealed. And he also said that Doomsday will focus on the Avengers, Wakandans, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and the original X-Men all fighting Doom. And filming will begin in a few days for that. Yeah, let's go ahead and cue up the spoiler alert. Alright, so I am going to talk about episode 7 of Daredevil Born Again? This is episode 7, last time I checked. Daredevil Born Again, which is called Art for Art's Sake, directed by David Bloyd and written by Jill Blankenship. So, we begin with Angela in the hospital, and she tells the police that she was saved by Daredevil and tells them where Muse's lair is. Kim reports to Fisk, who is angry that Daredevil has returned, and they have a suspect on whom Muse is, a young man by the name of Bastion Cooper. Luca from the Tracksuit Mafia tries to convince Vanessa to go back to her criminal ways and, give an opportunity to take out Fisk. So Helen, Matt's girlfriend, also Wilson and Vanessa's therapist, is also Bastion's therapist, aka Muse. He thanks her for helping him to embrace his true identity. Bastion knocks her out. Matt and the anti-vigilante task force are all in Muse's lair, and they find her paintings, and Matt finds a painting of Helen, and he heads to her office. All right, Daredevil and Muse fight. Helen puts like 8 shots in Muse's chest, kills him. Before she passes out, Daredevil says Helen's name. Daredevil stabilizes her before the AVTF arrives. Fisk gives credit to the anti-vigilante task force for stopping Muse so that they can be declared heroes in the eye of the public. Daniel Blake, who is Fisk's one of Fisk's right-hand men, calls BB into the office because, he's still upset that she leaked the story from when, he was drunk and high on ketamine about the port renovation. He's like, no, you're going to change the story. All right. And not even say Daredevil had anything to do with it. And Vanessa actually set Luca up for Buck Cashman to kill him when he thought he was going to have a shot at killing Wilson. So let's go ahead and get into it. Very good episode. A few things that didn't make sense to me. We finally saw Matt do the Ray Charles thing where, he put his hand over somebody's face to see if they were pretty. He did it to a painting and then was somehow able to discern that it was Helen. I guess Muse is just that good of a painter. We got Chekhov's knee or thigh in this case. Well, Chekhov's thigh, because Muse slashed Matt's thigh in the fight in Helen's office, and Helen saw that. So I'm pretty sure that's going to come back somewhere around episode 8 or 9, because at the beginning of this episode, Matt's in the shower and Helen joins him and she's like, you're bleeding, and he's just like, yo, shut up, and they just get it on in the shower, and she brings it up later. He's like, yo, I'm blind, I hit shit sometimes, it happens. But all in all, I enjoyed this episode. It's good to see Wilson and Vanessa back on the same page. I really can't think of anything bad about this episode. I really do wish we would have gotten more of Muse and Helen, because that just kind of felt rushed. Like, we only saw them together in one episode, and that was episode 2 when, he got his book signed and she became his therapist. But who knows? Maybe it's somewhere on the cutting room floor, because they did reshoot they did add in some reshoots and introduce Frank a lot earlier, because I don't think he was supposed to show up until like the later half, because this was originally supposed to be an 18 episode season. I really hope they don't pull the crap with Daniel Blake being Wilson's son, because that's kind of like a story that happened during the Devil's Reign arc that this season is roughly based on, where Wilson Fisk became the mayor and outlawed vigilantes. But he had like a right-hand dude with the name Butch Ferris. So we will find out. 2 more episodes left, and then, it's Doctor Who time, as well as The Last of Us. But I think I'm going to call it a wrap, because I got to get up early. It's your boy Bernard. That was another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Go to w.gg. Use the promo code AngryBlerd10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. Also, President W said, despite the fact that some of the tariffs will affect them, they will not be increasing the prices of their products. So shout out to W, very good sponsor, and I will see y'all next week. Not necessarily nerd news, but I saw Magazine Dreams on Tuesday, That movie is amazing. Go check it out. Jonathan Majors did his damn thing in that movie. If you think Uncut Gems is an anxiety attack, this is just a full-blown crash out, honestly. But it was a good movie. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.